Welcome back. This morning in our Sunday Spotlight, we're talking about pets, specifically pets that end up in shelters. The governor has declared August No-Kill Shelter Month in Connecticut. Joining us to talk about that is Aurora Velazquez. She's the director of East Regions for the Best Friends Animal Society. Aurora, welcome. I guess the first thing we want to talk about is why do we need a No-Kill Shelter Month? Explain the issue.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Designating a No-Kill Shelter Month is really important. Because it demonstrates the commitment at the highest level that Connecticut wants to save its animals. It wants to be no-kill and is setting that bar and that goal, and really also serves as a call to action for the community to get involved.
All right, so let's talk about exactly what it means to be a no-kill shelter. I know your statistics show 83 of 94 shelters in Connecticut are no-kill shelters. What's the definition? What does it mean for a shelter to be a no-kill shelter?
So when we're talking about no-kill shelters, we're talking about a save rate of 90%. So 90% of the animals that come into the shelter are able to leave that shelter alive, whether being reunited back with their original families or finding new adoptive families. And we look at that 90% because shelters are taking in all kinds of animals. Some are going to be end of life. Some are going to have severe medical or behavioral issues. So we tend to see that 90% as the benchmark that shelters reliably meet when they're saving all animals that are savable.
Now, I know nationwide it's 2 out of 3 shelters are no-kill. Obviously, with 83 of 94 in Connecticut, Connecticut's doing quite a bit better than that. So there's still 11 shelters, though, by your statistics. So what has to happen to sort of flip those last 11 so that we can achieve the goal here in Connecticut?
So the really good news about those 11 is that collectively, they represent 200 animals, 200 more animals that need to find homes. Not a huge number, totally doable. And so what that means is we need folks to think adoption first when they're looking to bring a new animal into their family. For families who maybe are not in a position to adopt but can provide temporary foster care, that's another great option. It helps get animals out into the community, enhances their visibility. So it's a really achievable number, just 200 more animals. And it's really about getting the community out and involved and supporting their local shelter and rescue.
Is this something where, you talked about the importance of the highest levels of government in Connecticut supporting this, but is awareness a big part of your mission? Obviously, you hope to achieve the goal of the no-kill across the country numbers, but is awareness just of this problem and that it's out there a big part of what you need to do?
Absolutely. Awareness is huge. A lot of shelters don't communicate well with their communities. There's a lot of work happening in shelters. Sometimes the communication piece just isn't the highest priority because there are cats and dogs who need attention 24 hours a day. And the community often just doesn't know what's happening in shelters. Sometimes they don't even know that there's a shelter or a rescue organization, down the street. So by making this visible, by saying we want to be no-kill and we need your help, people across Connecticut, in order to do that, it really serves as a call to action. It makes it visible, it makes it known, and it keeps shelter animals top of mind.
When you look at the numbers in Connecticut, obviously those 200 more animals being so crucial to reaching that goal, but across the country, probably part of the message is there's still a lot of work to do. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. The New England area in particular tends to do a better job of finding placement for their animals, of getting to no-kill than many other parts of the country. New England is super fortunate in that way, and it's definitely something to be proud of. But we see other parts of the country who are still struggling. And that's part of the work that Best Friends Animal Society does, is supporting them, finding resources, helping train and provide education so that way more animals can find homes.
I know we have a graphic we can put up with your website on it, but if people want to help, you talked about adopting, but are there other ways that people can help if they just want to help the cause?
Yeah, absolutely. So bestfriends.org is a great place to start. We have what's called a life-saving dashboard where folks can go on there and see what shelters exist in their community, who's no-kill, who's still working towards no-kill, and figure out the best way to be involved, whether that is something like adoption or foster, volunteering, or donating. All of it's valuable. All of it helps save cats and dogs, which is what it's all about.
I know on your website it says that the goal is to reach the nationwide no-kill mark by the end of this year. Obviously, that's a lofty goal, and I know one that you're working on right now, but have things improved over the years in your involvement with the organization? Are we doing better than we were? We have about 30 seconds or so left. How are we doing?
Yeah, we absolutely are doing better every single day. We are constantly having more and more shelters become no-kill, and once a shelter becomes no-kill, they tend to stay no-kill. We're seeing these kinds of no-kill proclamations pop up all over the country. We have several no-kill states, so it's really a collective movement, and every little bit helps it move that much further.
Well, it's certainly anyone who is an animal lover or has a pet probably can appreciate how important this is. And I know the work is ongoing right now and it'll continue. So thank you for being with us to explain it, especially during this no-kill month. Thank you for being here, Aurora. And we're going to send people right now to your website. If you want to find out more, we just showed it to you. bestfriends.org is how you can get more information on how you can help the Best Friends Animal Society. That is CT 25 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning is, of course, coming up next. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will meet you back here in Studio A, of course, next Sunday morning.